Hello and welcome to 3ABN Kids Camp for Ready, Set, Explore, where we search nature out and have fun without a doubt. I'm your host, JB Scout, and we're going to be talking about predator awareness. Well, more like predators around us or animals around us, or making sure we know what's around us. Does that sound good? Because when we're out in nature, wouldn't it be good for us to know what type of animals that we need to be aware of in nature? Yes. So when I like going on a trip, I like making sure that I know the area that I am in, that I know what type of animals that are going to be around. Whether it be mountain lions, whether it be bears, whether it be rattlesnakes. Yeah, maybe. I don't like rattlesnakes. But what about deer? What about elk? So these are animals that are beautiful animals in the wild, but one thing that we really need to do is respect the nature, respect animals, because they like their environment and they enjoy their environment, right? But when we go out into their kind of environment, we need to make sure that we respect them in their environment. So, I have a couple questions for you. What do you consider are some of the threats when we get into nature? What are some threats? Yes?
Dangerous animals.
Dangerous animals. Good. What else? Yes, Candace.
When we throw trash around in the woods.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Poisonous animals.
Poisonous animals, very good. They are threats. Okay.
Poison ivy.
Poison ivy, that's very good. You don't want to rub against too close on poison ivy because it puts kind of rashes on you, right? And it makes you itch. Yes.
Poison berries.
Poisonous berries. Yes, that is so important. I think poisonous berries, you need to make sure that any berry that you eat, and we'll be talking that later in another program, that berries are great, and I love berries. But you need to know which ones you can pick. Yes?
Like toxic animals.
Toxic, now give me an example of a toxic animal.
Like a rattlesnake.
Okay, that has venomous, that...
Yes, venomous one.
Okay, very good, yeah. We want to make sure that we keep our distance, right? With a rattlesnake, you know when you're getting close, what does it do?
It's gonna bite you. It's gonna give you venom.
Yes, but before that, I heard it.
It waves its tail.
It waves its tail. It has like a little shaker, right? A little rattle, it's called. That's why I call it rattlesnake, right? It just rattles because it's telling you, I don't like you so close, and it's giving you a warning. But what if you go more towards it? Exactly what you just said, you're going to get bitten, right? And venomous snakes are not fun. Okay, what else? Yes.
Very poisonous kind of plants, like you wanna, and water. Some water can have some disease or something in it.
Okay.
And you have to have this water thing that cleans it.
Yes. Yep, that's good. Yes. What else?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. So you want to be careful on anything that you eat that you know exactly what it is, and especially on mushrooms. You have to be very careful on what type of mushrooms you eat. Make sure you know the placement of mushrooms to make sure you're picking the right one. And if you don't, you get really sick. Yes?
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Yeah, I don't like mosquitoes. I just don't like mosquitoes. But, you know, I'm sure the Lord will tell us why mosquitoes were created. But mosquitoes, you don't want to be bit by them because you could get some, rashes and maybe have some side effects. So yes, what other threats are out there? Yes?
Bees.
Bees, yes. Now bees usually don't sting you unless you get either too close to their hive or you do this kind of a thing, right? So sometimes bees just want to inspect you. Like, have you ever been around a place where there's some wood bees? Well, they'll go right at you and they'll fly around you, but you don't have to worry about them because they don't really want you. They're just trying to see if you're going to be a piece of wood that they want to drill into. But they'll look at you and they're like, not you. So that's good. You know, bees, just don't get too close to their hive. Yes?
Dogs and bears.
Dogs and bears. Well, I would say like a wolf or a coyote would be kind of like dogs. similar, but usually dogs are domestic. So if we're out in nature, be more like wolves, right?
Wild dogs.
Correct, like wolves and coyotes. And you'll hear coyotes from a far distance and also wolves. Okay, yes?
Fox.
A fox. Yeah, now foxes, they're a nice little animal, but they usually go for eggs and things like that. If they see you, they'll run away from you. Whereas a wolf, if you're by yourself, you would have to be a little careful. That's why sometimes you need to stick together. Yes?
Footprints sometimes, because you want to go the other way. If it looks like it has a bunch of claws, you can know right away that you want to go the other way.
You're exactly right. And we're going to be talking about some of these prints and what to look for. Because you're right. If you see a bear or if you see another animal like a moose, you want to make sure you go in the opposite direction or in a direction that they're not going to be. Because you don't want to mess with their habitat, right? Okay, so that's good. You guys had some good answers. You want to determine what kind of animals. So you're going to decide what trip, where you're going, who you're going to tell before you go, and how long you're going to be out in nature, right? So if you're going to be out there and you're going to be looking, enjoying the outdoors or fishing or, just having fun hiking, you want to make sure what type of animals out there so you know what to prepare for, right? Okay, that's good. So looking for tracks. Jackson, you said that we got to look for tracks. Very important. Now, what is one thing that you do not want to do when you see a bear or a lion? Okay, yes, lion.
You should not go close to it or try to like there's some people who just want to have fun and then they get bit by the bear.
Yep, okay, that's good. Candace?
If you run away from them, they can start to chase you.
Very important. So when you see an animal like a mountain lion or a bear, those animals, if you run, they think you're prey. Okay, yes, you had an answer.
You want to stay still and put your hands up and scream.
So why do you want to put your hands up in the air and scream?
So you look bigger in it.
Very good. Did you read my notes? You didn't? Well, your parents are doing a really good job in training you because that's exactly it. You want to make sure you're a lot bigger. So you grab like this and you go, hey bear, and let them know that you're pretty big. The other thing you can do is if you have a group of people, you can all come together and raise your hands so you look really big. So that's very important. Yes, Jackson.
I was gonna say, if you're by a big stick, you might want to pick that up and swing it in the air and yell at the same time and run towards it.
So running towards it may be a little bit dangerous, but if they get closer, there's a technique that I've seen that works with wild animals that if you lunge at it, do a half a foot lunge at it, that stops them because they're not used to that. So you get them off their game a little bit, right? But you don't want to run towards them because you just don't want to run. That's one thing you don't want to do with animals is don't run. Now, what I've seen in nature is you'll have like a lion, a mountain lion, that will want you to run. And it will pad the ground right in front of you to get you scared. And basically all you need to do is just walk backwards slowly and face the lion. You want to make sure you're faced. Now, do you want to face a bear and look at the bear in its eyes? No, you don't want to do that because it sees you're threatening and you're ready to go to war with him. So you want to look away and you just want to say, hey bear, and raise your hands and scream a little bit to get them scared too. Okay, so that's good. Okay, you want to make yourself bigger, which we talked about. That's great. And you want to make sure that if you see a bear or a mountain lion, keep your distance. Exactly. You want to make sure that you have some good distance, that you're giving the respect that that bear or that mountain lion or that moose needs in order to feel comfortable and not threatened, right? You don't want them to feel threatened. Okay, yes, Jackson.
If there's a mountain lion, would it work the same way as a bear if you if you got a stick and he stepped up one bit, would it scare it too?
Well,
in
I
its
would
track?
think, anything you can do to make the bear realize that you are a threat to that bear, most animals will go a different direction, okay? But you don't want to have food around that the bear wants. You want to let them have the food and move back away. Have you ever heard of a bear barrel? It's a plastic barrel like this that I put in my backpack. So if I'm going to go in an area where there's bears and you don't want the bears to visit you, you put it in this bear barrel that the bear can't open, or you hang your food up. Those are two good important things too, that if you're in bear country. Okay, well, let's do this. The other thing that I want to talk with you about is you need to consider the ground around you and the size of the tracks of the animals that are in the area. Okay, if it's a really big one, you know it's either a mountain lion, a bear, or a moose. Those three, be very careful. If you see a trail where it's more of an animal trail that is going to the water, you'll see those where you'll see prints of different animals. You want to stay away from those areas because those animals will visit that area because that's their source of drinking, okay? So be careful of those things. Now let's come on in and let's look at some of these prints. Now, okay, so I need you to move around the side. Remember we talked about that? I need you to move over here. Leah? So let's go over here, and I need you, Madison, to come around here. Yep, come on over here. Come over by my shoulder here. There you go. Okay, so what is this? Now, I'm going to put it this way, and then I'm going to put it so the camera can see too. So what is this animal?
A deer.
It's a deer. Okay, can you see that? It's a deer. Okay, very good. Okay. What about this? What about this?
A duck.
A duck? Oh my goodness. No, it's not a duck. It is a coyote print. This is a coyote print. Okay? Now coyotes are a little bit bigger than foxes, and they normally won't go after a human, but they will go after your animals. So Ginger, they will try to get Ginger.
But it's better to
Hold them.
Okay, what is this? This is another coyote.
What?
It's a different size.
Oh, a baby.
But it's a different coyote.
hold
Okay.
Can I hold one?
Okay, yes you may. Okay, what about this? What about this?
A bear?
Okay, no, it's kind of flat and it has kind of weird.
It looks like a sea otter.
It's a otter, that's right. Can you see the otter? See the otter? Well, here's the last one. It's a wolf print. And this reminds me of how much the Lord loves these animals, but how much more He loves you and I. I'm reminded with a Bible verse in Luke 12:24. It says, "Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouses nor barns, and God feeds them. For how much more value are you than the birds?" Well, I want to thank you all for joining us here at 3ABN Kids Camp for Ready, Set, Explore. See you later. Till next time.